weekend. Sleeping till the evening. I don't like you leaving. Let's get secrets. Dying just so creepy. Lying for no reason. Creeping on the weekend. Let's get secrets. Creeping on the weekend. Sleeping till the evening. I don't like you leaving. Let's get secrets. Lying just so creepy. Lying for no shades on my eyes so you can't see my face. You right behind me.
Here comes the sun, baby. Let's go.
Just one more block until I'm eating play. I got someone, but we ain't been okay.
Just hit 3 miles. Did it in 30 minutes. Not great, but it's a start. You can't complain, really. Sorry for the bouncy footage, but I ain't running slow. So let's finish this thing. 1 more mile to go. Yep.
I will still be linking, so tell me what you thinking, girl. And I'll see you this weekend.
And that was 4 miles. I think we finished it in 41 minutes. Average time of 10 minutes and 21 seconds per mile. Not impressive at all, but it is a start. I'm honestly super proud of myself for getting that done because I've never done that before. So yeah, live to fight another day. I'm trying to run long distance every other day. And yeah, my goal is to do 5 miles a week, but time to up that. So yeah, later on today, we're gonna get into my goals of 2024. Anyway, thanks for joining this video. Let's get into it. All right, Joe. Let me pause this. It is currently 9:24 a.m. I probably finished that run maybe around 7-ish. I sat down in my little area over there that I filmed earlier. I sleep on the couch and I wake up usually and I dive right into the Word, right into the Bible. I have a couple books. Actually, let me show you those real quick. So I have a couple books that I read in the morning. This is a new addition to them. So this is my planner. I'm gonna get into that later on. This is my nighttime reading that I'm also gonna get into later on. And these are my 2 books that I read in the morning every day, or at least do my best to. So this is my Passion Translation Bible. It's only the New Testament. Some people don't like it just because it's modernized and they change a lot of the wording. But I don't know. I like it. I don't find a problem with it. I connect with it a lot. So yeah, and I've stuck with NIV. I've done English Standard Translation or something like that. And yeah, I just connect with this one the most. I feel it's best for me in my understanding of how I read the Bible. So yeah, this is the other book that I read as well, John Maxwell Daily Reader, and this is just like it numbers out the every day in the year and gives you just different topics throughout the year of what a leader does to be a leader. You know what I mean? Those are the books that I read. So I sat down right after my run, after I showered, and I got into those books. And now it's breakfast time right here. We got 4 eggs. We got this little snack pack thing. Let me grab it real quick out of the trash can. California snacking. It's just salami and cheese. And it's a bunch of calories. And since I'm bulking, I can take it. So it's a salami and cheese snack pack, 4 eggs, and then a rice pack. And we're looking at around 900 calories just for this breakfast. Not including my fish oils. And I also have my BCAAs right here. So I'm going to sit down. I'm watching this David Goggins and Andrew Huberman podcast. Yeah, bro, David Goggins got me on some different level right now. Just running, reading. I've been blowing through that book. I'm also already halfway through. We're 10 days into January. Halfway through the book. It's the fastest I've read a book, I think. But yeah, I'm going to get into all that later on. I just wanted to show you guys this breakfast anyway. So yeah, I'm going to sit down and eat this stuff. And have a good morning.
Okay, y'all. I got a little bit of a shoulder workout for y'all. But first of all, listen to this.
I already did one movement for shoulders, so we're hitting shoulders today. Yeah, let's see how it goes. I got about 3 more sets to go.
Dude, silly guy thought you were going to be able to hear him. I was stoked because this is the first time I actually vlogged, like actually spoke in front of the camera. And then I realized that it was on my Beats. My phone was connected to my Beats, and my right ear, which is where the speaker is, was behind my head, so it just sounded like I was in the other room the entire time. Anyways, first movement of the shoulder workout. Let's get into this thing. We're going to be doing a military strict press. There is no leg drive here at all, so you can see my cue here is I'm going to be bracing before every rep. I take a big inhale, kind of just thinking about inflating my abdomen around my spine the entire time and pushing my head through my shoulders or the bar. Watch right here. Yep. So this is actually a drop set, but you can still see I'm trying to keep my form. The difference between these ones and the last ones is I'm not fully locking out at the top. I'm trying to keep as much tension on my shoulders and keep them away from my triceps as much as possible, even with a little bit of a couple half reps at the end. So next movement we have is going to be dumbbell lateral raises. I'm trying to show you guys from the side angle so you guys can see the position of my hips in relation to my shoulders. They're a little bit more back, and I'm trying to keep them there throughout the entire movement. And you can even see my wrists are in front of my shoulders here. Hold up. So you saw I set up straight, forced my hips back, and then I started moving on this plane. My wrists are in front of my shoulders, my hips are behind my shoulders, and I'm trying to stay there. I feel that it creates the most tension in my shoulders for me. And yeah, you can see here, as I start burning out, I'm going to keep going as high as I can, even though I'm not going to get to my full range of motion, and then slow it down at the bottom, forcing the dumbbells up as much as possible, if that makes sense. And the next and actually last shoulder movement I'm doing right here is going to be a cross cable rear delt fly. And my favorite cue for rear delts that have really helped me activate my rear delts the most, I really thought I was doing it correctly for the last 2-3 years now, is acting like I have paintbrushes in my hands and I'm reaching out before I start my rep as far as I can, and I'm keeping it there and acting like there's a fence that's far away from it. I'm trying to paint it all the way through as I reach the end of the rep at the top and squeeze. Yep, right there. Reach again. Exactly. And yeah, as you can see, look at the weight. I'm working with 12 pounds right now. You don't need a lot of weight for rear delts. All you have to do is be intentional about your movements. And yeah, even the last reps right here, boom. I'm not getting to a full range of motion, but I'm squeezing as far as I can. And since I came off a little bit of a sickness this week, I started my lift on Wednesday. I'm taking it easy. This is my first day back in the week. Shoulders, I didn't want to overdo it and fall back in my healing process from being sick. So I'm only doing 3 shoulder movements, and then I'm ending this off with some cable crunches here. And my cue for this is look at my hips in relation to my knees. They're stacked and my hips are not moving. I used to struggle with, as I would come up, my hips would shift forward, and as I squeeze down, my hips would shift back. And I'm really trying to keep that still, so I'm focusing on the lumbar part of my spine and having my bend there, and then blowing out all of my air at the top of the contraction. And that was actually the end of my workout, and this is the silly boy talking to his camera and thinking that he can hear the entire time, explaining what I just explained, and finding out later that you couldn't even hear anything. Anyway, that was my shoulder workout from this week. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into the gist of this video.
Alright, so before we get started, I really hope that my AirPods are on and that they're connected, because it's going to suck if you can't hear me. Anyway, I want to say a disclaimer. I'm not sharing my goals with you to show off or to make this about myself or to say, oh, look how cool I am and look at all my goals that I'm trying to get this year. Like, it's not about me. This is the first time that I've ever done this, that I've ever planned enough for myself ahead of time. And yes, I'm proud of myself for doing this, but this is also to encourage you to do the same thing, because this is my first week of being able to do this, and I've already seen so much fruit from planting these seeds and taking the time to write this down for myself and to try to set up myself for success in the future. So let's get into this. My goals of 2024. So I have a few written down here, and the first step that I suggest that you do is to go and get yourself a planner. This is just from Target. It's a 2024 planner. It's a relatively small one. And I wrote down my name in the beginning. I wrote down the year, January 4th, 2024. So my first goal of 2024 is to run a half marathon. You saw in the beginning of this vlog, that's what I was trying to do by running 4 miles. My goal a sub goal to attain that goal is to run 5 miles each week. And I'll do that for the first month. Maybe the second month I'll do 8 miles, and I'll go up from there, just see how my body can handle it. Honestly, I'm pretty sore right now. My calves, my back, my shoulders, like everything's tight, but it's so worth it just being able to get up early in the morning and do that. So my second goal is a financial goal, and it's to get my credit score to 750 at least. So when I first got my first credit card, I did not do good about that. I ran it into the ground, and then I left it there for 2 years. So that kind of tanked my credit score, and nobody teaches you about credit unless you're fortunate enough to, but nobody taught me about credit in high school. So I'm learning about that stuff now. My third goal is to compete in a boxing match, and you guys have seen me box. You guys have seen me train for boxing with Boxing and Bibles, that program that me and my, or not program, but that study group that me and my brother put together. And that's the reason behind that, is because boxing scares the crap out of me. And to be able to go sign up for a boxing match and jump in there voluntarily and fight somebody to see who wins, that could be really scary and daunting. And that's exactly what I want to do, because this year is all about like finding things that scare me and running straight at them. You're never going to grow if you just try to find things that make you comfortable and stay there. My next goal is to secure a clothing brand deal. So I was fortunate enough to have my friend Daniel help me out and securing a supplement deal with C4 and Cellucor and Extend. And I love that I'm able to be able to get free products and supplements just for lifting and making videos. So I want to be able to do that with the clothing brand deal, and I've been praying over that and manifesting that for a while, and I know it's going to come soon, but it's just a matter of time that I just got to put my head down and keep working. My next goal is to move off of my mom's couch. You also seen earlier in this vlog that I sleep on the couch. I have a little mattress that I put on top of it to make it a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, it sucks waking up every day and not living with my mom, but just like feeling like I'm not adequate enough to sustain myself yet. So that's the next thing. And I want to be able to do that with using my passions, tattooing, content creation, and not have to get a 9-to-5 job just to slave away and try to pay off rent every month and then be back at square one, you know what I mean? My next goal is kind of arbitrary, but it's more of a way for myself to gain or to measure the gain of my work. And it's reached 5,000 followers on Instagram. Right now I'm at 1,700 at the time of this video, and when I started posting on Instagram seriously and committed, I was at 900 followers. So we're up 800 followers, almost 900. So that's been pretty cool to see just the growth of that. For this YouTube channel, my goal by the end of this year is to reach 1,000. I believe I'm at not even 100 yet, and that's going to take a lot of time and effort, but I'm excited for it because it's fun doing short form and long form videos, and learning the differences between the two and just being able to play with that. My next goal is to read 15 books, and you guys saw in the beginning of the vlog also the books that I'm starting to read. I'm not counting the Bible and my everyday book, but the David Goggins book is the first book of the year. I'm about 3/4 through, and I've been loving it. And a tip that I'm going to give you guys about if you want to get into reading is pick something that you're actually interested in. Last year when I started, I was reading financial books. I wanted to get my knowledge of money up, my financial literacy, and that's why one of my goals is my credit score. And if you pick something that you like and that you're interested about, you're going to be able to stick with that a lot more than picking up a book and trying to do homework, you know what I mean? My next goal that I wrote down was to create a daily plan. And I have here in parentheses 5 a.m. Club. That's a book that I read last year, and it talks about elevate your morning and elevate your life. And honestly, I've been seeing that this week. I did create a daily plan. I'll give you a little preview right here. And it's a very rough outline. Not every day is going to be able to look like that. Some things out of your control, but just to have an outline of when I wake up and not just wake up and then feel like, oh, I have nothing to do, I'm just going to go back to bed. Yeah, it's been very helpful for me and being more productive and hitting every goal, writing down daily goals, to-do lists. Just putting a pen to paper has done so much for me, and I know that it's going to do so much for you. If you haven't done it yet, just try it out. Do it for a week, do it for 2 weeks, and if you like it, I bet you're going to stick with it. Another financial goal that I wrote down is make $1,000 a week. For you, that might be easy. For me, it's not. I'm not even paying rent right now, and it's hard for me to do because I only work part-time at the gym. I'm restarting to do tattoos, and most of my money comes from the gym, making ads for the gym, and I also Instacart on the side. So it's a lot of different gigs, but it allows me to do what I want to do with creating content. So it's sacrifices, you know? Another goal of mine is a physical goal, and it's to bulk back up to 215 or 220 pounds at some point in the year. There's no time frame, and then cut back down. I just want to be able to put on more muscle and then cut back down, just because it's always nice to have some abs. Another goal of mine is to buy my own camera. I had a Sony ZV-1, or I still have it, but the lens stopped popping out, so that's why I'm using the phone. But right now we work with what we got. Another goal of mine this year is going to be working on my NASM certification. Eventually I want to be able to create programs or write programs on Instagram or on here for people as a passive way of income. And I also want to get this for myself and for my girlfriend, just to know that what I teach myself and how I operate in the gym for myself and my girlfriend and how I program for her, I want to know that I know what I'm talking about and I'm not just bullcrapping my way through everything, you know what I mean? I know a good amount of lifting by trial and error, but I want to put that in my mind. I went to college for 2 years, I took anatomy, I took physiology, so I have some background in it, but I just want to be able to say, like, I am certified in this and I can tell you what to do. We're getting close to the end. Stick with me here. Another goal of mine is renew my tattoo license. I've already started doing that. I have an appointment to do some health tests in order to receive my application, or send out my application to receive my license within the next 2 weeks. Handstand push-ups, I've been working on that for the last 4 or 5 months, and I haven't been able to do it yet. I've been able to do a couple, but I want to be able to hold it and maybe do like 5 or 6 in a row, and yeah, just have that skill under my belt in my calisthenics realm of fitness. Another calisthenics goal that I wrote down is planche, or it's pretty much like doing a push-up with no feet, and I want to be able to hold that for 10 to 15 seconds by the end of this year. It's going to take a lot of training, a lot of skill honing, and yeah, I'm excited for that. It's just a goal of mine. Like, once you get into the gym and you have found your basics and you know what you're comfortable with, like, it's always fun to set up new goals for yourself and break those barriers that you didn't know you could do. And my last goal is kind of a funny goal. Not funny, it's not a funny goal. My last goal is to write a song. I have a couple friends, Cam and Huey, and they make music all the time, and they have inspired me and have been talking me into coming over to their house and write a song. And for the last 2 years, that's been a goal of mine. My family is a very musical family. My dad is a percussionist. My brother's a percussionist. My other brother, he's a rapper and songwriter, and yeah, I've always grown up around music and I've always loved it, and I want to be able to feed into that passion that God has put into my heart. I love playing the guitar, so yeah, I know I haven't shown that side of myself a lot, but I want to step back into that this year. So those are all of my goals for 2024. All it takes is a little bit of time, a little bit of commitment. Sit down, grab a planner, write them down. Be serious with yourself. Make them attainable, make them sustainable. Start little. This isn't. I know that I said that this is the first time I do this, but last year I set goals in my head that helped me get to this point where I could sit down and write goals that I know that I'm able to attain because of what I did last year. So be honest with yourself. Also be hard on yourself. Like, don't just make goals that are inside your comfort zone. Step out. You saw there's goals from financial literacy, physical goals, song goals, relationship goals. Like, you can go into any realm that you want. So sit down, make some goals for yourself, and let's get after it this year. Let's progress, and that's the whole point of this, is to hold yourself accountable and create obstacles that you're able to step over every single day to create small wins for the daily, for the weekly, for the monthly, and eventually for the yearly. And if you do that every year, that's your life, bro. I get so passionate about this because I've been able to see the fruits of my labor. I've been able to do this and see the little taste of it, and that's why I want to get after it, and that's why I'm filming it, is because I want to be able to hold myself accountable and to document this journey as I go. So once again, thank you for tuning into this video. It was a fun one, honestly, to make. I feel like I put a lot more intention in behind this video, and yeah, I just hope that we can continue to progress in this YouTube journey. And as always, if you don't follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, I'll put my handles here, and if you need some more supplements, go ahead and click the links below. My code is right here for 20% off of Cellupore, Extend, and C4. We got pre-workouts, pump product, glucose products, like anything that you could possibly need, protein, creatine, it's all there. So go ahead and click the links in my bio, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and I'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in again. I appreciate y'all. Peace.